go back into OKC. Right now, get an update on these storms that are coming in right now because brand new warning has just been extended. So this one will include more for 70-mile-an-hour winds. Let's see, let me get the official language out of this one right now. 70-mile-an-hour winds, not much hail. We basically have eliminated the hail size, maybe some penny-size hail within that one. But this one will have 70-mile-an-hour winds, and really the strongest of the winds are going to be tied pretty large area, pretty large pocket of strong winds right here that's surging down to the south. Let's go out to Michael Armstrong down in Norman right now. Michael, what do you have?
And we just had an 84-mile-per-hour wind gust in Norman on the Mesonet. 84.
Wow. Okay, let's go into Norman right now. Let's go back into Norman.
Turn around.
So 84-mile-per-hour wind gusts in Norman at the Mesonet, which is going to be located on the south side right here. So, or no, it's gonna, did you say Mesonet or the airport? Mesonet. At the Mesonet. Okay, so. Definitely, I mean, 84-mile-per-hour wind gusts. As we mentioned, this storm was producing some big-time winds. That is that 80 to 90-mile-per-hour wind threat that we were telling you about just moments ago. That's going to have to knock out power. We'll get an update on just the amount of power outages that are coming into Norman right now. 84, again, 84-mile-per-hour wind report there in Norman. That is official, by the way. Wow, that is just incredible. If Nick is available, I want to talk to Nick too, by the way, get an update from him because that right there, that's some big time wind. That is a big time wind. And by the way, Norman, we have more wind that's coming in with this new warning that's coming into OKC. So when Nick is ready to talk, we'll go to him. Let's go back up into Oklahoma County. Let's go back up into the north side of the metro here because we have some real strong winds that are coming in right now into Quail Springs, Gaillardia, up towards Deer Creek High School. Where you see this bright white, that is going to be your strongest pocket of winds. These are your 70-mile-an-hour winds. Those are headed down to the southeast. So from downtown Oklahoma City to the capital, that's dropping southeast here. So Heritage Hall, 924, downtown Edmond, and about 2 minutes from now, OKC Thunder Practice Facility at 928, and then down towards Jones here shortly thereafter. Let's go out to Buck. Buck, what do you see?
Damon, we are in those winds. They're easily 50 to 60 for sure, and it's kind of pushing the truck. Jason's doing a good job in some traffic here. We've got vehicles all around us, but this wind is definitely intense. We are just going by Mercy Hospital here in just a little bit, and easily 50 to 60 mile-per-hour wind gusts. Back to you.
Okay, I definitely believe it there, and they'll probably pick up even more so in just the next little bit here because, again, 84 is the wind there. Wow, that is just, I mean, that is just wow. That is the strongest straight line wind or the strongest wind report that we have had so far. So let's go back down into Norman. Steve, is Nick available? I want to get an update from Nick because he's going to be down in that as well. We're just going to bounce back and forth, Oklahoma and Cleveland County, until the threat has moved out of here. But once again, strong winds continue to make their way towards Quail Springs here. That's going to drop down to the southeast. Here's the village. Here's Heritage Hall. Here's Chisholm Creek. It's about to come right through here, and then we'll likely come right here into the TV station as well. We'll go out to Michael. Let's go back out to Michael down in Cleveland County. Michael, what do you have?
I just had power flashes on the southeast side of Norman. We're coming back up. We were going down toward Noble. Now we're going back up toward Highway 9. Keep going, keep going, keep going. We're going to go to Highway 9, and we're going east. So the southeast side of Norman right now is now getting those intense winds that the 84-mile-per-hour wind gusts just a little bit earlier. I don't know if they're still that strong, but we are getting some hailstones now. Starting to get some hail here on the southeast side of Norman. Also, this, like we said, this storm was intensifying, and it was. I mean, there's no disputing that. Winds are up near almost to 85, Damon. This thing is really cranking now over Cleveland County.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is just really picking up here. And again, this storm is doing what we expected that it would do as these storms came into central Oklahoma. Yesterday, we gave you the alert and said, look, these storms, when they come in, are going to have the threat of up to 90-mile-per-hour winds. We told you that yesterday, and this storm is basically doing everything that we expected it to coming in that 8-9 o'clock hour here. So definitely some strong winds here. Is Nick available? Let me know if Nick is available because I know he's going to be in here as well. I want to get an update from Nick real quick. We'll talk to Nick. And okay, let's go out to Nick, and then we'll go back up in Edmond. Edmond, you're coming up next. Nick, what do you see?
Yeah, Damon, right now I'm in Moore. We decided to come back up north And we were getting rocked by some of those winds earlier, but what Michael's experiencing right now, we're just to the north of it, and actually we're not getting a whole lot of wind right now. That's a great thing, just still getting rain, but we're getting ready for that next wave of storms to come through. Back to you.
Hey, we know you are. Okay, so let's go back up into Oklahoma County here, and we'll go up on the northern side, up into Edmond, get an update on the strong winds that we have right now that are coming into Oklahoma County. These are blowing in here really, really quickly here. Once again, here are the strongest winds. Deer Creek blowing down. Oh, here they are now coming into Chisholm Creek here. So Buck is right in that, by the way. Real quick, let me go back out to Buck. Buck, is power on where you are right now?
Yes, we have not seen any power flashes or anything like that. We're actually out in front of the wind right now. So it has not quite gotten to the Chisholm Creek area, but it is on the way that direction as we just drove through 50 to 60 mile per hour gusts about 3 miles west of where we're at now. We're at the Kilpatrick Turnpike and Penn right now.
All right, Buck. So again, we'll continue to talk to you again. That report there coming in from Buck. Okay, let's go back down into Cleveland County. Let's get an update on down in Norman right now. Again, we're gonna bounce all over the place right now. So there's Nick, by the way, and Moore, and then Michael down in Norman. Jonathan, what do you see?
The wind gust, the Oklahoma Mesonet site in Norman is on the east side of Max Westheimer Airport, and that hit at 9:16. So I'm going to pull the radar back. It was, I think, that little pocket right there. So again, was that flood that comes through here. This is the south side of the airport, and the Mesonet site is right there where the cursor is. Okay, that was a pocket of 84 mile per hour winds that came through. So that's the radar at 9:16. And I don't know if that was a little downburst, I think is what it was. I think we had a little downburst. So the storm was collapsing, and we had all that rain, all that hail and mass suspended, and you had a wet microburst. Yeah.
That has been confirmed, by the way. So they just did a verification of that. That is indeed confirmed. That was not a malfunction. So just goes to show you how fast we're able to work to make sure that that is indeed legit, and that was a legit wind report there in Norman by the airport, 84 miles per hour.